Hello and welcome back. Hello and welcome back. In the online lecture series of SAITM, today we will talk about the principle of motion economy of mechanical sixth semester subject industrial engineering. In the first lecture, in the introductory lecture, we talked about what is the industrial engineering and what are the basic objectives and while how they are implemented doing while performing a job. So in first lecture, in the last lecture, I talked about the whole scenario of what is the objective of industrial engineering, what is industrial engineering, what are the objectives of industrial engineering, and who are the beneficiaries of industrial engineering. In the second lecture, we'll talk about principle of motion economy. So this is the second part of the first unit of MDU syllabus. In the principle of motion economy, we will talk about principles of motion economy. What is the motion economy? Motion economy means when we are certainly performing any job in the industry, our limbs move. Basically, hands move, and mostly right hand moves and left hand also incorporates. So, how do we manage our whole work so that there is little stress on our body, there is little stress on the uh, overall health of the workers. So, principle of motion economy form a set of rules and suggestions to improve the manual working in manufacturing and reduce fatigue and unnecessary movements by the worker, which can lead to the reduction in the work-related trauma. That means the whole scenario is like this: that principles, some basic principles, are taken into consideration when the worker or the operator is performing a certain job. So the workers, when are performing a certain job, so how their limbs are moving, and this is basically studied under the work study and work method. So initially, how they are performing the job, and how much their limbs move in what direction, and then the whole scenario is broken into minute contents, and the whole motion is studied, how the worker performs particular task. For example, if we have to assemble a bolt, nut and bolt, so right hand will go to the bin and will pick up the bolt, and left hand will go to the bin and pick up the bolt, and then this will assemble, and this then will rotate the bolt to tie the into the nut. So this is the operation or process that worker has to perform. So the motion of the limbs is taken into consideration, whether the limbs are comfortable enough to move in the particular direction, so that there is little or reduced stress on our body. Similarly, and if an operator is performing a job on the lathe machine or operating a milling machine, so his body must be in such a way that that the worker does not induce too much fatigue and too much stress in his body. So, second is basic principles. What are the basic principles? So, as I talked about, the motion movement or the motion that is basically concerned with the movement of the movement or motion that is concerned basically concerned with the performing of job. So, we have to take care of the performance of job, and we have to apply certain rules and principles so that the fatigue on the worker's body is reduced. So these are basically classified. Principles of motion economy are classified into four basic parts or four basic groups. One are the principles that are related to human body, principles that are related to human body, and seconds are the principles that are related to arrangement of the workplace, how our machines, how our tools, our equipments are placed in such a nice way that the worker has to face little problem or no problem, or he has to suffer reduced fatigue and little stress while uh, moving a job, while performing a job. And the third one is, first is human body, how a worker uses human body. Second is how a worker uh, picks up how the tools or machines are placed on the workplace so that there is a little fatigue on the work body on the body of the worker. And third is design of the tool equipment. So design of the tool and equipment also plays very much important. If it is ergonomical, or if it is related, if it is much comfortable to work with them, or they are hard to work with. So the third principles, the third group is principles of design, principles related to the design of tool and equipments, whereas last is related to the time conservation. That means we have to perform the job in the minimized time, in the reduced time. That standard time must be there of performing any job. So that must be according to little movement, or minimized movement of the body and of the tools and machines, etc. So these are the basic principles that are divided into four groups. We will discuss principles of motion economy. So principles of motion economy that we just talked about: human body, arrangement of workplace, design of tools and equipments. Then the four principles of motion economy. What are the four principles? The four principles are: number one, that motions must be reduced, and so that they don't have to suffer the fatigue or unnecessary movement while performing a job. So the four principles of motion economy: one is to reduce the number of motions, eliminate or reduce the number of motions. Then second, perform motion simultaneously. We try to perform different types of tasks together. Yeah, as I just said, I just take an example of assembling the bolt and nut. So what we can do, we can pick a bolt and this transfer into the left hand, and then we can pick a nut, then picking the nut and then tightening the nut into the bolt. Or otherwise, what we can do, we can put simultaneously both the hands, one to pick the bolt and one to pick the nut, and then they can be assembled. So second part, or second principle, is that we should use both the hands simultaneously in order to reduce the work cycle time, and also to reduce the fatigue on one hand. So second principle is perform motion simultaneously, so that reduce cycle time as well as reduce stress on the worker's body. Third is shorten motion distances. That means we everything must be in our reach. So uh, we have to keep all the devices and tools and equipments within the range of our reach, so that sitting normally in our position, we can pick the tools required to perform a job, or we can pick a device rather than moving here and there and like this. Similarly, we have to walk a minimum, we have to stretch a minimum, we have to turn a minimum. These are the third principle of reducing the movement of workers' limbs and bodies itself. And fourth one is make motion easier. So the motion must be smooth and easier and rhythmical and symmetrical, so that there is lesser fatigue. As I talked about, if we are picking the work, the nut and bolt with both the hands, so there is a symmetrical job work. So that means, or for example, we are picking a bucket full of water, so we are applying just one hand. That means our one hand will come under stress, and that is also asymmetrical. We have to leave. So we will make an arrangement in which we can pick the bucket by both the hands simultaneously, putting the work pressure equally onto the both hands. That means this will not put an extra burden on one hand. So make motion easier. We have to and other things too, uh, like paddling. For example, we are having a machine in which we have to press the pedal. So we try to press the pedal by both the feet, or both ways symmetrically, like cycling. And this is the fourth principle of motion economy. And the first principle, use of human body. So I will talk about the possibilities, because the possibilities that will that can be applied for the first principle of motion of economy. So as I said, that when possible, two hands should begin and complete their movement at the same time. There is no extra time. First thing is that the work will be symmetrical, so there is no additional load on any hand. And second thing is, this will achieve two objectives. One is that the load will be divided equally, and both hand will be symmetrical, and the fatigue will be divided equally. And the third one is that the ready time will be reduced. If you are putting, if you are holding, if you are picking a bolt and then transferring it to left hand, and then picking a nut and then assembling. So this way, this hand has to move, and this hand will suffer more as compared to other hand that is idle. And at the same time, we can overlay our both hands and pick. So this is a good way of performing a job, and both of our hands are symmetrically working, simultaneously working, reduce cycle time and reduce fatigue on the body. Second point is that two hands should not be idle at the same time except during periods of rest. That means the working should be continuous or should not have breakages. Uh, and there must be a continuation between the movement of the hands. So picking one, assembling, throwing, picking one, assembling, apart, and after a certain cycle, the both the hands should be given the rest, but they should not be idle at the same time. So this is second principle, the second use of human body possible. Second point is that we should not give the rest to the hand until unless required. So this will also reduce cycle time. Then motion of arms should be symmetrical and in opposite direction should be made simultaneously. Yes. So we have got two hands, so we can stretch in both the directions and we can perform both the directions. So crossing over each other will effort like this or this. So this the devices or tools that we have to apply must be in our this range, and that we have to apply by the second hand. This should be in this range, and there must not be any crossing or asymmetrical working. Hand and body motion should be made at the lowest classification as it is possible to work satisfactorily. This is hand and body motion. That means I am taking the lowest classification. That is, they should be kept under minimized loading. Under minimized loading means that this should be under arm. This hand should not, this arm should not go up. Otherwise, it will have to suffer more. So we should not keep. You should not place any device or tool of this level. So first thing is that. Second thing is that we must be given a comfortable load that we can pick. Otherwise, there are chances that rupture or fatigue or any accident can happen. So in order to eliminate these particular factors, we have to keep the hand and body motion. Body motion should be made at the lowest classification, at which it is possible to work satisfactorily. Then fifth point is momentum should be employed to help the worker, but should be reduced to minimum whenever it has to overcome biomuscular effort. Momentum, that means uh, we should be provided. For example, if we have to pick a weight, we should be supported by some logical cranes or supported by some logical lifting devices, so that minimum load or minimum effort is done by the hand. This is the fifth principle. Momentum should be employed to help the worker, but should be reduced to minimum whenever it has to be overcome by muscular effort. So the momentum should be employed. That means there should be there should be there should be minimum momentum should be applied. That means the devices should be applied for to overcome these devices. And sixth one is continuous curved movements are to be preferred to straight line motion involving sudden and sharp changes in direction. So rather than giving a jerk in the work, giving in the jerk in the work, a curve should be applied so that the movement sails thoroughly and any without any jerk, it should be completed. Free swinging movements are faster, easier, and more accurate, and restricted or controlled movements. Free swinging movements, that means the jobs or the devices should be kept or placed in such a way that there is a smooth transformation in their movement. There must not be any complications, there must not be any irregularities in moving the tools and devices. Now, eighth one is rhythm is essential to smoothen and automatic performance of a repetitive operation. So, uh, there are chances that a boredom will develop when we take a regular job, when we take a reoccurring job. Uh, as we have seen in the driving, the roads are kept curved. The roads are not kept straight, so that the driver will feel monotony and there are chances of accidents. Similarly, the repetitive jobs must be made in such a way that they do not produce monotony and they do not produce uh, dullness to the worker. Otherwise, the productivity will decrease and there are chances of fatigue on the body of the worker. So, rhythm is essential to smooth and automatic performance of a repetitive operation. For example, we have to punch part 500 times a day. So this is a same job 500 times daily we have to keep. So we have to keep the punching machine on and we have to put the part and press the pedal and remove the part. This will be repetitive and there are chances that this will attract monotony and this will reduce and this will attract dullness and at the same time the worker will perform uh, below the efficiency. So the whole process should be arranged in such a way that it is interesting to the human body. And last point, work should be arranged so that eye movements are confined to a comfortable area without the need for frequent changing of focus. So the work should be placed, or worker should be placed from the workplace, from the machine, from the process in such a way that he doesn't have to change focus constantly. The screen is with me and at a constant place, and if this screen is moved like a mobile, so this will be constantly changing. The focusing will be constantly changing, and this is against the principle of motion economy as far as use of human body is concerned. So similarly, workpiece that moves at a faster rate, many workpieces move at a faster rate. So all these workpieces, yeah, jobs should be placed in such a way that they do not need constant changing of focusing of the worker. Then classification of movement. This is the principle of motion economy related to concern to human body. The first topic, the first point. Then four principles we discussed, and this is the first principle. First principle related to human body. So 9 points are there, and now this is a classification: knuckle, point fingers, pivot, body parts moved, knuckle, wrist, elbow, knuckle is there. This is knuckle joint, wrist, hand plus above, elbow, forearm, shoulder, this, and trunk, torso, and above. This is the classification of movements. So first type of classification are related to knuckles, that is fingers, then wrist, then this, the jobs involving the wrist, then elbow, then shoulder, then trunk. Trunk is basically upper torso, that is moving from the waist. These are five movements that have been classified, and these five movements are minutely studied while performing certain task of applying motion of principal economy. So these are the basic movements. Then second is arrangement to the workplace. Arrangement to the workplace. First, I talked about the movements of human being, use of human being, use of human body. Second is, as I told, as I discussed, arrangement of workplace. So workplace should be organized in such a way that this does not attract any extra movement, any extra chances of accident, and any extra time. At the same time, all the devices and all the machines and tools and equipments should be placed in such a way that the worker is very comfortable working, performing the job. It does not lose interest, it does not produce monotony, and at the same time it does not induce stress in the human worker. And last is reduced cycle time for if we are placing all the things within the reach and smoothly, the cycle time reduce and ultimately productivity will increase. So we'll talk about the points that are related with the arrangement of the workplace. Definite, definite and fixed station should be provided to all tools and materials to permit habit formation. We are using wrench 5 times per performing a job. We can pick wrench from here, we can place here, pick from here, place here, pick from here, place it. And if there is a certain point where we have to put the wrench every time, that would be less stress generating, that would be very much convenient, that would be less time consuming, and that would also attract less monotony. If we see a chemist, if we see to shop of a chemist, we'll see there are thousands of medicines are kept, thousands of medicines are kept, and each time he picks even a single pill, even a single strip, he picks and places the remaining at the same place, even much distance he has to cover, but how many it doesn't matter for him whether number of customers are there or number of he has limited time, but he will reach to its place only. Otherwise, what will happen once he picks up the discipline and he doesn't put the discipline on its place after giving to the customer, he will never find the discipline again. The discipline will be lost in thousands of drugs. So he has to keep at its place only. Otherwise, he has to suffer. Similarly, this should happen with the workplace. That every tool must have a definite place. Every tool, every device must have a specific place, and that too within the reach of the worker. I am working here, and my device is placed 2 meters from the to the second worker to the another worker. I have to go to pick that device and work it and keep here. The next worker is coming. The worker is also sharing. He will coming me and be taking. This is not the way. So of industrial engineering suggests that workplace should be neat and clean. Workplace should be well placed with the devices and the tools at its own place. Third is gravity feed bin and container should be used to deliver the material or close to the point of use as possible. That means we are turning number of jobs on the lathe machine. We can keep a bin next to the lathe machine. So we have performed the job. We open the chuck and take out this part, take out this shaft and can drop into the bin. Another way is we can take the shaft and can place it to a rack. So if not harmed, because there are very sensitive shafts and very sensitive components that are, if they are thrown, if they are dropped from its place to the bin, they can distort and their accuracy can be challenged, and accuracy, they can be incapable of performing certain tasks. So if not, they are if not harming, if not harmed, the job should be dropped and application of gravity should be applied to reduce the workers to reduce the workers' stress and also to make the workplace a better workplace for the worker. Tools and materials should be pre-positioned to reduce Sorry, fourth point is gravity feed. Third point, fourth point is tools, materials, and controls should be located within the maximum working area and as near to working as possible. We were talking about the manual movement, so manual movement should be like that. This is symmetrical and this is very smooth. At the same time, all the devices should be kept within the reach of the worker so that he does not have to move his hand beyond its capacity. So fourth point is tools and materials and controls should be within the, and buttons, control buttons are there for a machine, milling machine, lathe machine, all should be within the reach. And this is the basic principle of workplace. Sixth point is the color of workplace should contrast with that of work and thus reduce eye fatigue. The color of workplace should contrast with that of work and thus reduce eye fatigue. So, workplace should have a comfortable color and not too harsh or not too fast that basically affects the worker's eyes. So it should be eye friendly and that should not be posing threat to the human eye, because there are lots of lights and there is lot of interpretations of lights. So eye friendly color is there, that would be very much convenient for the worker and that would reduce eye fatigue and that would put lesser burden on the eyes. Then seventh point is deliveries or ejectors should be there whenever possible so that operator does not have to use hand to dispose the finished work. That means a worker is utilizes his limbs or hand to place a job, to apply a job, to load a job in the machine, and after the process is performed, there should be an automatic device that does not let the worker to pick that job. So if possible, there should be arrangement made for the removing the job from the workplace after the operation is performed at the job. So if possible, not compulsory, because there are many jobs that are very heavy jobs that are loaded and unloaded by the material, by the worker itself, by application of cranes and application of hoist and other devices. So if possible, the tools, the jobs should be ejected automatically. Eighth point is provision should be made for adequate lighting and a chair of type and height to permit good posture should be provided. This is related with the ergonomics, and that means a comfortable height, a comfortable light, and standing or sitting arrangement should be made. Third is design of tools and equipments. First was the first was the design of human part. First was the design of the use of human body. First point was the human body. Second is arrangement of workplace, and third is the design of tools and equipments. So tools and equipments should be made in such a way that these should be user friendly. For example, we are having a hammer. The hammer has a handle, and the handle should be not too harsh and should be provided a certain grip so that it does not put any extra burden on the labor, on the worker. So uh, all the handling parts, all the handling tools and equipments should have a comfortable gripping, comfortable design, comfortable curvature, so that the worker does not that is not affected. Okay, so these are the points that basically related with the design of tool and equipments. All these define the same thing, that it should be user friendly. So summary is, through the pioneer work of Gilbreth, Ralph M. Barnes, and other investigators, certain rules of motion economy and efficiency have been developed. Some of the more important of these principles are following. So these principles are following. This is the Gilbreth. Gilbreth was the scientist that has given the principle of motion economy. So these are the basically all these that we have discussed in three parts, first, second, and three parts, and are related to human body, are related to workplace, and are related to design of tool and work. piece and equipment. So in our this was all about principles of motion economy, and okay, so we'll be talking more about in our next lecture. Okay, bye.